Chasing Tales, Episode 35, The Wall.
What wonders has Sirig yet to show Pink? What is his goal? And what of Kevin and his dive into Pink's past? Will the people on the island be friendly?
Pink and Sirik took a light lunch and now stand in the circle against each other.
This match is to see how you are with the staff. No magic.
Same rules for you?
Of course.
He bows. She bows, not taking her eyes off him. Her last match with Zoe taught her that much. She dips into the opening and knocks his ankles, but cannot bring him down. He comes around with his staff, and it just glances off of hers. She steps back and blocks 2 more strikes. She advances on him aggressively, pushing him back. He spins around, and she catches his feet, this time knocking him to the ground. She spins the stick around to tap his chest lightly.
Gotcha.
He grabs her staff to gain his feet. She can barely hold on to it. He is stronger than he appears. She had to remember the way he looks was a lie. She couldn't trust it. He catches her musing and pulls her over, flipping her out of the circle. She lay still, out of breath.
Pay attention to your opponent in the moment. Fight yourself later. Come on, let's go.
She gets to her feet and steps back in. He pops her knuckles a couple of times to throw off her concentration. She ducks under a swing and catches him in the ribs. She dodges away just out of reach of the return swing. Sirik stands motionless. She watches him for a few seconds and copies his feet.
Tell me your feelings about your parents.
Pink rushes into a perceived weakness and taps him with the end of her staff. He swipes it away.
Answer the question.
Then ask one.
Who do you forgive more easily, Mom or Dad?
Dad. He did what he had to do to protect me.
And Hannah?
Pink drops her staff and walks out of the circle. Sirik's staff dissipates and the room transforms back to the cozy cabin.
Well?
How do I forgive what was natural to her? It's no crime to be selfish or mean-hearted. Just makes you harder to love. She was what she was. I hope she had a good life after all.
It seems to me you have forgiven her. Do you think your life is better?
It did prove to be a good move.
But all that time suppressed.
Not suppressed, controlled. Brenna taught me control, and at the time, it beat being taken away by the church.
And what has the orders taught you?
It's a platform for me to express my nature.
And what is that?
To do good, as if you had to ask.
After all that you have been through, your mind is still bent to service?
It's important to know one's place in the world and to operate to your best, no matter what others may think of you, good or bad. It's about following what I believe is right.
Maybe what you need is another perspective. Let's change and go for another walk. There's a place in the village that makes a nice cup of tea.
Earthside, Kevin stops typing long enough to read more of the story.
There we were, standing in the dilapidated hall of Linnet Island's only residence. What was once a beautiful stone great house now lay partly in ruins, the plants and creepers taking over. We stood in the dappled shade and heard a small wild pig went by. Serval licked his lips loudly. I could hardly blame him. We'd been on hardtack and treacle for a couple of weeks.
A loud booming sound vibrated across her bubble.
As I live and breathe, if it ain't old Pink. How are you, gal?
Pink relaxed, relieved.
Mr. Black, I didn't expect to find you here.
Your being here is more a mystery. Come on, lads, get these boys some food. Come into my suite, my friend.
Pink follows him into a room that seems untouched, by the time unfolding all around them. He touches her and she suddenly has legs. Her bubble pops, landing her in a comfortable seat.
So, how you been?
Fine, still looking for legs in all the wrong places. So how are you, and why are you here? Last time I saw you was in Tortuga when you rescued me from the cat house there.
Good times, eh? I just thought it was time to get away. Me and some of the boys left the boat to Cameron Deer. He dropped us here and comes and supplies us now and then.
He trails off into silence, pensive.
What is it?
We haven't seen him in a couple months, and things are getting low here. I see you aren't running with a full crew yourself.
I don't need a large ship or a big crew. We're looking for something, an artifact. A small piece of mirror that washed up on shore, perhaps?
Black leans back in the chair and eyes her suspiciously.
Here now, what are these things you're after, and what are they for?
I relayed the whole sad story to him.
So these pieces are some fella's soul?
That's right.
I had no idea that was even possible. What is he?
I don't really know. I've never seen it happen before myself.
So what do you think putting it back together will do?
Hopefully bring him back.
So you're telling me a souled creature stood up against the Demon Lord and it didn't outright kill him? I don't know if you should be meddling with this sort of thing, miss.
I have to know what will happen.
Well, since you're set on it, I have something for you.
After a short search, he produces a small box and a ring of keys. He lays them on the table before her.
Okay.
Open the box, gal. It ain't gonna bite you.
Pink reaches out for the box and opens the ornate lid. Inside is another piece of mirror. It vibrates when she leans in to look. The mirror shard in the box flies to its twin around her neck and fuses to it. It's shaped like a sliver of moon now. It strengthens her resolve to find all the pieces.
What are the keys for?
No idea. Found them with the first piece done Bellenew, to the southwest of here. The damn things used to keep me up at night, whispering. Glad to be rid of 'em. But I can't tell you I'm glad it's landed on you. Out of curiosity, why you want to help this fella out so much?
He did me a favor once.
Paying off debts, is it? Good old Pink, always needing a rescue.
Now you know it's the curse.
Aye, lass, I know. Come on.
Mr. Black rises and pats her on the back. He reminds her to take the keys and helps her back to her fishtail self before they emerge into the ruined part of the building again. Her lads are all happily eating roast pork and drinking fresh mead. Pink and Black look over the ragtag lot of them.
Together we're enough to go forward, but would he leave the island? Say, any chance this life is boring and you miss the taste of salt spray?
Mr. Black is caught off guard, but he did miss adventure. Staying in one place was for more contented men. He made up his mind.
I could sail. What do you lads think of a bit of adventure? Get the sea under you again.
Pink smiled as most of the men seemed quite content to go along. They doubled their crew and picked up what supplies they could. In the village, Pink sat waiting on a rough bench outside a smokehouse, staring at the rock pattern in the wall before her. Sirik had made some excuse leaving her here to wait. After a half hour, a foursome dressed in animal skins and bushes emerged from the tree line. Their weapons vary from the primitive spears to a basic musket. This ragtag group of tired hunters laughed carrying their catch. A large man totes a deer over his shoulder. A small woman in war paint carries a stick filled with bound quail. A bird of prey comes to land on her outstretched arm. A feminine young man with a bow and oddly blue skin carries a tall basket which smells of fish. A Nordic blonde woman strides through with an armload of rabbits.
Here, get up.
Perdia threw a brace of rabbits onto the bench Pink was sitting on. Pink jumps up and away, bumping into the chopping block behind her, making a noise. Perdia looked up at her frightened noise. Pink fixed her face to placid indifference and stood still as the woman nearly sniffed, circling her.
Who are you? Why do you hate to see me?
I'm very sorry. Sirik left me to do some business and I'm just waiting. I can go elsewhere if you'd rather.
Sirika. That still doesn't say who you are.
Of course, my name is Pink Salmon.
Really? That's the name you chose. I guess in your world, it is dangerous to have a barbarian name.
How could you know that?
I used to hunt in the Black Forest. Before Sirik rescued me, that is. I'm Bardia, the leader in meat production around here. Me and my team bring in and process all the meats. This is Bayard, Samia, and Jay. There are 3 more inside. No one goes hungry on our watch. Help me gut these rabbits.
Perdia shoves a rabbit in Pink's face. She backs away. The terror of her first solo kill haunted her mind even now, and she felt 8 years old again.
Sorry, I don't know how.
Killer demons, saver of souls, messenger of change. Afraid to gut a wee rabbit.
Pink blushes to the eyebrows and swallows the lump in her throat.
I'm more likely to sing you an epic song about the hunt.
What'd you say? We haven't had a proper bard in the village since Tanit got killed. Go on, sing us a song.
Now, a good song must be done correctly. Let me eat with you and your group, and after I have enough information to properly treat you, you'll get your song.
This is Tim.
She indicates a large black man holding a fish knife. Tem nods at the newcomer. Samia, the tiny pixie girl, comes close to him, and he puts her on his broad shoulder. She looks at Pink as she kisses him possessively. Tem smiles and takes the basket from Jay and carries it away. Another large man in a bloody apron dumps entrails into a wood trough to the side.
G'day.
Jacob returns to the darkness of the smokehouse. Last out the door is an older woman with moonlight in her eyes. She glares at Pink.
This is Astrel. Best brewmistress anywhere. She keeps us all in line too. So mind yourself while you visit.
Pink looked over them.
Are these men and women from different times? Or are they gods?
Pardia pats her a little hard on the shoulder.
Alright then. You can sing for your supper. Come and help. You can wash dishes, right?
In the villa, Aislinn and Metatron sit and talk.
I know this should have worked.
What do you think it means?
He's very powerful for certain. He also seems to require privacy for what he's doing.
Well, negotiations sometimes do. Perhaps Pink can Benson ease up a little.
I don't like not being in contact. I feel like there should be someone who can help get her back.
They are interrupted by Otto. He comes in with a splash disruptor. He sets a tiny tube on the table. It sprouts spider-like legs and walks around.
What is it?
Think of it as an EMP pulse for the 9 frequencies.
So what is that, and how will it help?
It displaces a number of a particular frequency. It should survive once on the other side of the portal. It's tuned to Pink and will seek her out and disrupt the hold it has on her and return her to us. That's the theory, anyway.
In Jack's office, inside the top left desk drawer, under a stack of papers next to a matchbook for the club, a very small cube suddenly begins to light up on one side at a time, in a repeating pattern. In starlight, Pink fiddles with the tiny cube in her pocket. She doesn't notice it comes to life, quietly copying the sequence.
Pink's first stop was an easy one. Will her trip to Starlight be so easy? Stay tuned for the next episode of Chasing Tales. Wake.